My name is Adioye Ademidu.
My name is Ogunbeta Waidamola.
I lost my mom in 2017. I was in SS2 back then. Okay, so she was sick. She had breast cancer. She died from breast cancer after 2-3 surgeries. It was a very difficult and trying period for me because I was very, very close to her. We were so close, and she was my best friend. She was the only person I could talk to and be free with. A week before she died, I was with her, taking care of her where she was receiving her treatment. So a week before she died, I had to resume back to school because my mates were in class already. So before I left, she was talking to me about some things, and I didn't know it was a way of saying goodbye. So the day I was going to leave her, she was asking me not to leave. She was asking me to stay a day longer, but I felt like my friends were in school already. They were expecting me. My boyfriend back then was in school, was expecting me, so I left.
I lost my mother in the year 2014, May 4. It was on a Sunday morning actually. We were supposed to go to church, but she was not feeling too well. Then we were watching cartoon. Talking about the cartoon. Robin Hood on a Sunday morning, and they shot an arrow from the TV, and she held her chest actually, and she said she had this pain in her chest. So I actually thought it was just something minimal. Then before we knew it, she said she could not move again. Well, we thought it was actually something small, and before we knew it, she was paralyzed, waist down, and we actually prayed for her and felt she would be okay. Then since it was on Sunday morning, I was the only one with her, with my uncle's wife actually. Then we had to call one of my uncle that was a pastor that was in church. So he came home and prayed for her. Then he also came with one senior pastor. They prayed for her, and we all felt okay. Probably she was actually okay. Then later in the day, they had to take her to church, which was on the first Sunday of the month. So they take her to church for Holy Communion, and she passed away in the night actually.
So before that time, I had never heard of anything called cancer, not to talk of breast cancer. So when she actually told me, I didn't know it was something so serious because she didn't break the news like it was a life-threatening disease. She said it as if it was just a headache she could use drugs for and she would be okay. So she told us she would be going in for surgery, and after that she would be fine. So she did the first surgery, she did the second, and I'm not so sure, I think she did the third, and we're expecting that she would be fine, but I don't know, it kind of got worse. Then the doctor said she had to go through chemotherapy, and after that she will have like 6 months to a year to live, and she felt like, okay, we should go. Chemotherapy was not the best option for her because it's just like suffering, and even after that she would still not like live long, so she didn't want to do chemotherapy.
It has been very, very tough. I won't lie, because losing someone that, let me just say losing a parent, because I was not actually that close to her. I was not that really close, because growing up it has been this rocky stuff. Because I'm just very, very stubborn, and I'm always the one she's always beating and the like, so I'm not that actually close to her. But losing her was tough because after she died, I realized so many things in my family. I realized that those people that call themselves my uncle, all those close people that told me they'd be there for me and the likes, they let me down actually, and for like years I had to just live with that pain in my heart that I had lost her and she won't be coming back again for a long, long time.
So she didn't die in Nigeria. She's from Benin Republic. So when the sickness got worse, we took her to a place, to our family members. So I was actually there before I had to come back to resume school. So while I was there was this particular guy that was interested in me. Like, we were friends and we used to talk. So when I got back to Nigeria, we were not on speaking terms. So she died on a Tuesday. This particular Tuesday, it was in the night. I was watching Korean movie. I was watching a Korean movie when this particular guy texted me, and I felt like he was texting for stupid reasons. So I didn't reply him. He called severally. I didn't pick. So he sent a text that my mom is not breathing again. So I saw that text and I was like, what's this guy up to? Just to like gain my attention and all. So I vexed for the guy. I insulted him and all. Then I was not feeling at ease after seeing that text. So I called my older brother that was still with her. I could not comment out because I knew he would not tell me anything. So I called my older brother and I asked him how my mom was. And he was like, my mom is fine, she's sleeping. I told him to wake her up, that I want to talk to her. And he was like, she has not slept in a while, that she's sleeping, she's resting. I was still not feeling at ease. So due to the fact that my dad was with her and my brother was with her, we were staying at my dad's family house. So I went to meet my dad's elder sister, and seeing her expression, I knew something had happened, but I didn't want to believe that my mom was gone already. So I told her what happened. I told her the text the guy sent to me, and she was like, everything is fine. Looking at my cousin too, that's her daughter, her face was somehow, her expression was somehow. So that night they were like, everything is fine and she'll sleep. And so I called my dad, and my dad was like, she's sleeping, she's resting, blah blah blah, she's fine and all. So I slept. Sleeping that night, I did not sleep very well. I was feeling so uneasy, and I don't know. I slept and I woke up the next morning, and very early the next morning, and people were trooping in, church members, some of our friends from work, our colleagues at work were trooping in, and then I knew that actually happened.
I don't know, like I always say, and death is inevitable. We are all meant to die one day, so people dying, it's actually normal. So I don't actually feel anything. I don't, because one day we all die, so that's just it.
Okay, I'm actually still feeling an absence because, like I said earlier, she was my best friend, and we had plans, we had dreams, we had visions. We had a vision. We wanted to build an orphanage together because she was an orphan before she died. Let's build an orphanage together. We had a lot of things we wanted to do, like a lot of things. So having to think that I would have to fulfill that dream on my own, make that vision come to pass on my own without having her by my side is sad, is very sad. And also I used to talk to her about a lot of things. I'm a kind of very fragile person when it comes to dealing with my emotions and all. So since her death, I really don't know how to be open with someone else, like very very open the way I would be open with her, and I just miss her. I miss her so much.
Yes, weeks ago I still cried, and most times I ask myself, why do I actually cry? But I don't know, probably she left this vacuum, like this space. So, and I'm trying to fill up the space by myself, but it's actually hard. Because I do ask myself, why do I have to cry over her? Because I was not that close to her. So I don't know why I'm actually crying and the like, but I just felt okay. Probably, I don't know, probably because I spent my years with her, I grew up with her, so I felt that was why I actually cried. That was just it.
Okay, personally, from my own perspective and personal experience, people dying death is actually something everybody should expect. One day everybody will die. But the thing is, losing a loved one at a very young age and saying the person like is very young, and I don't know, it's kind of heartbreaking and heart-shattering, because you just wake up one day and realize that the person you do things with, hang out with, see every day, you get to see them no more for a very long period of time. And that's not because they choose not to come or you choose not to see them, but you just are not going to see them anymore.
Actually, on that, I have no plans of getting married. No plans at all. So I don't actually vision her in my marriage for now. Probably in the next 4-5 years to come I can, but right now I don't see myself getting married at all.
Okay, hearing my friends talk about their mom, talking to them on phone every day, speaking to them, laughing, gisting with them, is Not because I'm not happy that they still have their moms alive. I'm very happy for them that they still get to go with their mom, but it breaks my heart in one kind of funny way, because I feel like, what if my mom was still alive? I would still be talking to her. I'd have lost my mom to meet my friends, talk to my friends about my mom, and also it's kind of heartbreaking for me. It's always very sad. I had this friend that used to, like, we lived together, and our mom used to visit, like, sleep over. She used to call her mom every day. They used to talk. So I used to feel this kind of sadness, because I don't know, I just felt like I wish I had my mom too. So
okay, and based on that, although when we did the autopsy on her, we were told she died of high blood pressure, but I was not satisfied, because although she had that case in her already, but when I actually made my findings on it, I was told they killed her spiritually. They call it of a year or so. So I was angered and felt, okay, why would someone have to do like that? So deep down in me, I want to believe that her death was natural, but I know it's not natural, it's actually spiritual.
okay, so sadly, I've not been able to get over the grief totally, because our absence is still, like, strongly felt. But I've been able to move on with the help of my siblings and my dad, actually, and some of my friends.
It has not been easy actually, but most time I spend my time writing, and anytime I have this, and most time I end up playing like a baby. So most time that's what I use to get over it. So if I'm not writing, then I'm playing like a kid. So I believe that will actually make me get over easily. That's just it.
Okay, so I've actually never thought of how my wedding day would be without her. Anytime I picture it, I always include her picture in the imagination. So I've not taken time to think of how it would be without her. I don't think I'm ready for that yet.
I don't know. I feel like there are people that can fill the space, but I've been too rigid with myself, and, like, in the sense that I don't want to give anyone that space. I don't want anyone to take a spot. So any opportunity I have, or anyone that I feel might take up that space, I try to push them away, so that I won't hurt them, because on the long run I will probably just ghost them, because I believe that she's my mom and no one on earth can take her space. So I won't want to waste someone's time giving her the impression that she can take up my mom's space.
So I still cry about her a lot, because there are some things that happen that actually trigger a memory. Sometimes just laying down and doing nothing actually brings back some memories, and I still cry.
Yeah, I actually did one mistake, which was believing that prayer would have healed her. Yes, because I felt okay, let me just go through the physical aspect. I felt that they should have taken her to the hospital immediately she was complaining of that, instead of them bringing pastors and taking her to church. And eventually they had to take her to hospital. That's where she actually died. So I felt the greatest mistake I ever made was even agreeing to the fact that they should take her to church, or even call one pastor or sort to pray for her, because after all their prayers and everything, she still died. So what was actually the essence of their prayers and the Holy Communion they gave her? Because as a Christian, I believe the Holy Communion is supposed to heal you. So with the Holy Communion and with the pastors gathering on her, praying and speaking in tongues, she still died. So what was the actual essence? Then she could have just gone to hospital and get herself treated.
Okay, so losing a parent is actually very tough, even if the person is young or old, because having to stay with that thought that you don't get to see them again for a long period of time is actually sad. So losing a parent is very tough. And my advice to those that lose their parents, either the father or the mother, or even both, is that life continues, and you should not let that weigh you down. You you should instead work and strive hard to make them proud. Yeah, that's my advice.
Okay, to those that have lost their parents, either the mother or the father, and to those that will lose their parents, either the father or the mother or both, the best thing is just heal quickly. I feel like the why I'm still having issues over my mom's death was the fact that I failed to heal myself quickly. So if you have lost any one of your parents, heal yourself. There's nothing you can do about it. Your tears, your grief will not bring them back. It won't. You only give yourself much more issues. In the sense that on the long run, you discover that you end up becoming what you don't want to become. You end up becoming this cold-hearted person, this person that does not like anything in particular, because you are still attaching yourself to your mom or to your dad. So just move on. Life goes on.